Good evening, this is Max Schneider bringing you Core News Live. News just in, Nobel scientist Cal Morrow has been kidnapped in an attack which resulted in the brutal murder of his wife and eldest son. It is suspected that Carl Drax and the Chimera terrorist organization were behind the abduction. It's also believed that Chimera want Morrow for his knowledge of biogenetic weapons. When approached earlier today, Morrow's surviving son Saul refused to give comment.
Here's something you can do right now. Go on eBay, search for Mega CD in the video games category, and sort lowest to highest on price. A copy of Wolfchild is normally available pretty cheap. In retro gaming terms, this is normally a sign of a pack-in game or something of extremely low quality. But in Wolfchild's case, this is simply just not true. Wolfchild started life as a core design Amiga game released back in 1992. The Mega CD port would come the next year and for the most part is widely regarded as nothing special. Most people seem to assume it's just the Amiga version with a CD soundtrack, and that is quite simply not the case. Everything has been expanded and improved. The introduction is longer and the stages from level 3 onwards have all been lengthened to make the experience feel fresh. There's a lot of bang for your buck with this title, and if you're looking to build up a Mega CD collection on a budget, then it simply shouldn't be missed. As for the game itself, you play as Saul Morrow, who is looking to save his kidnapped father Cal from the Chimera organization, who are looking to use his biotechnology to commit terrorism. So obviously, Saul uses one of his father's inventions to turn himself into a Wolfman hybrid to go and stop Chimera. Because, obviously, I mean, they're called Chimera for crying out loud. Listen, don't question it because it's all very metal. Look at Saul. He looks like a frontman for a hair metal band, and when you power him up to werewolf form, he can now fire Hadoukens. And when you beat a stage, you do a cool pose and get struck by lightning. This is all very cool, and if you disagree, then I'm afraid we can't be friends. The only thing this game is missing is a heavy metal soundtrack, but Martin Iveson's atmospheric electronics are also pretty good and do a decent job of creating some nice atmosphere, instead of just clubbing you over the head with the obvious choice. There's also something about the presentation I love that is very difficult to describe, and it's just that strange flavour of Eurogame that seemed to come from the Amiga scene. Everything has this shiny, glossy, metallic look to it, the electronic soundtrack makes the whole thing feel very 90s, and the game has a habit of just bombarding you with enemies, some of which can't be even seen until you're right on top of them. This is not going to be to everyone's tastes, but it's extremely Euro, and I have a lot of fondness for our weird video game design choices. I think the big issue that Wolfchild has is very typical of a lot of Amiga games. It front-loads its spectacle with a bombastic first stage full of multiple layers of parallax scrolling, loads of enemies and a metal as first boss, and then it all becomes a little bit more subdued from here on. This is likely because the original version was limited to size constraints and the whole game would have needed substantial reworking if they were going to add that sort of first stage spectacle to every stage in the game. But either way, Wolfchild is a good time and an extremely affordable Mega CD game that deserves a place in your collection. Hell, even if you don't own a Mega CD, you can actually boot real Mega CD discs from within the Kega Fusion emulator for PCs, so don't let the expense of real hardware put you off.